Streaming. All right, let's make sure we are streaming. This is part 16 for the gradient generator. And this is part. Okay, super. So last time we had worked on this thing. We had worked on getting this full height bar that you can grab and adjust the width of this area over here, this sort of settings area over there. So now for today's session, I want to add some of the resizable handle tests. So we want to add some of the tests for that. So where was the logic for that? It's probably in, I believe it was in flyout, was where we put it. Resizing, right, yeah, it's all this stuff. Yep, all of these. Okay, and what's this to do improvement? Left, right, but it's taking the width and it's styling that from there. And where do you get width from? Width is state, which is initially set at client width, half the client width. Okay, so I think that we can remove. All right, so let's write some tests. Flyout.test. So what is the thing that we need to test here? So the thing that we need to test is that this is grab and draggable, and then when you do grab and drag it, it adjusts the width of the area, the flyout area. Style, right, calculate the width. This is a calculate and set width. What is this? If resizing ref current so initially we throttle the calculate and set width to run at 100 milliseconds. Add an event listener for mouse move. Runs throttled calculate and set width. If resizing ref current is falsy, we add an event listener for mouse move, and we add an event listener for a mouse up. We run cleanup. So then on the I see. Okay, on the button on mouse down, resizing ref current is true. So then any mouse move is going to run calculate and set width, and it will update the width. And then mouse up, it will run cleanup, which sets that ref back to false. Okay. So really the thing would be Yeah, I guess the test would be so if I'm gonna be very thorough for this, the two tests would be describe flyout control button. Yeah, because these are different. Because if I run this actually, so if I copy relative path and then if I yarn test that one, I'm pretty sure that's going to fail because it's not going to find those. It's not going to, oh, that's a, cannot read property client width of null, right? Because it's not, because I changed the implementation. So, yeah, we got to change the flyout content displays the gradient string degrees, right? We haven't changed any of these things. It's really the flyout control button and flyout content. Yeah, it's really the flyout control button. So we need to change these to defaults to a width of half the screen. Changes the width when dragged. I think those are the two things that I want to have going on here. Okay, so that means we can skip both of these. Pardon. And we'll add a, it's really not the, it's not actually the flyout control button. It's really the flyout control button. So it's I guess it's really flyout. Flyout defaults to a width of half the screen. Yeah, so I guess this would be flyout. Width, we can say defaults to half the screen. Defaults to half the available viewport width. Defaults to half the available wrapper width on wrapper width. And then the flyout button, this is updates the flyout width when dragged. All right, so let's do this one first here. Defaults to half the available wrapper width. So to do this, the thing we need is, what do we need? Well, you need to set up, definitely, defaults to half the available wrapper width. You need to have a query selector of wrapper, app test container. All right, what does app test container have? Messages context provider. Test utils. Where do I want to put wrapper? wrapper context provider. App test container. Yeah, I feel like I could simply do a, it is a div, right, is the thing? I imagine it would be a div. It's not going to look like that. It's going to look like, yeah, there it is, okay. So class name wrapper, and then, sorry, that's a closing div, so like that, and then put you inside of flyout here. So now I mean, I guess I could do something, as simple as with 1000, and then setup, and then we would go locate this thing, which is going to need a class. Why do you not have a class? Okay, that seems interesting. There is a class of flyout where, oh, did I really not see that? Oh, that's funny. So, yeah, so, what is this? This is setup, which, and how do I grab the things in React Testing Library? We do, what is the screen? That's the one you use. Get by, what do we get by? Get by display value, you're not displaying anything. Label text, you're holding a bunch of stuff. Placeholder text, role, test ID, text title. Yeah. I guess this really is a test ID. Okay, so this is data-test ID equals, and we'll say fly out. So this is screen get by test ID fly out, and then this would be, rather, expect screen get by test ID fly out dot, pardon, what does this actually render? Let's log it. Console log. Console log. That one. Oops. It has quotes. Use that one. And then show me the tests. Yes, I know. Unable to find element by, because it didn't save. Save. Right, is that actually the DOM node? Oh, super, okay, it's an HTML div element. So you should have a style. Style with 0. That's interesting. You have a style with a width of 0. That is interesting. Style with a width of 0. document query selector wrapper dot client with. What is, yeah, I'll bet this, I would bet this wrapper.clientWith is not set in the test, in the test environment. So, because for example, if we do, say, this one, watch what's going to happen here, and then let's take that out, but still log the wrapper. Run it again. Yeah, document.querySelector wrapper.clientWith, that's why, 0. Okay, so we need to, I guess we need to mock the query selector call. Okay, so instead of doing this, so let's comment that out. We need to mock the query selector call, which is spy on. I think it's just spy on. Calls the spied method. Creates a mock function. Tracks calls to, yeah, suggest spy on document query selector. I mean, I suppose I could do it with a ref and send a ref down. So we'll call this query selector spy, and then we would do query selector spy mock implementation. I don't need to, I don't mock return value. Mock return value once. Mock return value once, return 1,000. And then so when we set up here, I'm expecting that to return 1,000. Cannot read property client with of null. Oh, I guess I need, yeah. I need query selector. I need you to return a that has a client with property of 1,000. Right, okay. Client with mock return value once. Okay. Super. So right, okay. So now we set up and then screen.get by test ID flyout. So for instance, this one has the flyout dot style. Is it styles or style? style. Yeah. Okay. So when we run here, I am expecting, right, there we go. Okay. Values width 500 pixels. Super. Okay, so we do this and we do expect that dot style to, I guess it could be, yeah, it could be to be 500px. Yes. Right. Ooh, oh, right. Style. Oh, right. Style values with, yeah, it's a little more, it's a wee bit more involved. What exactly does the object look like? Style, CSS declaration, underscore values dot width. Yeah, okay. Style here underscore like that underscore values dot width to be 500px. What would the other way to do that? I feel like there's another way to do that. If we did something like style read-only property element dot right. Okay. Alright, so there's that one. Defaults to half the available. We need to make sure we get rid of, so that we need to do mock, I think I want, oh my, it's a lot of things. I believe I want mock restore. Restore is the original non-mocked implementation. Yes, that's the one I want. Okay, now for the changes the width when dragged test. So the thing we need is changes the width when dragged. So I need to add event listener for a mouse up. So I need, oh, okay, I need to emit a mouse, I need to emit a mouse move event. Yeah. I would need to emit a mouse move event. Okay, so this would be setup code, set up the component, emit a mouse move event, emit a mouse move event with an oh, not quite. Emit a mouse move event after I mouse down. So setup emit a mouse down event on flyout control dash button, which will change the resizing ref.current to true. Then emit a mouse move then emit a mouse move event on document with an event dot client x of something updates the flyout with when dragged. I should also test this other logic, and then emit a mouse up event on document, and then assert that the width, assert that the width is a particular value, emit a mouse up event on document, and then assert that the width is the same value. I believe that should do it. So set up emit a mouse down event on flyout control button. Okay, that means I need to, yeah, it's user event dot I wonder if you have those. Okay, so this would be user event dot mouse clear, click, double click, deselect, hover, paste, select options, tab, type, unhover, load. Okay, I don't think you have those ones. Let's go check. So this is this is React testing. Oh, whoops! I have to do that over in this screen. There we are. React testing library. This is React testing library user event is the one we're looking for. So React testing library, yes, user. Let's try this search box. User event. Component that provides more advanced simulation of browser interactions than the built-in fire event method. Okay. All user event methods are synchronous. Click, double click, type, keyboard, upload, clear, select options, deselect options, tab, hover, unhover, paste. Okay. That's click though. Yeah, but that's a click. I don't want a click. I want a mouse move. I need mouse down, mouse move, and mouse up. Mouse down. This is all about key things. Arrow down. Alright, does fire event, can I get more granular? fire event, fire DOM events, fire event, the node, and the event. Mouse, new mouse event, click, I want to see if I didn't see a user event dot mouse down, for instance. So what I'm expecting to see here is mouse down is not a cannot read property client width of null, query selector wrapper. Okay. I guess then maybe this should be before each also. So we should duplicate this logic here, the setup and the cleanup here. Right, I'm expecting, yeah, mouse down is not a function. Okay, and it's not a capitalization thing. I mean, I didn't see it in the VS Code IntelliSense. So yeah, okay. All right, looks like it's not implemented. So then it's fire event. So I should be able to new mouse event mouse down. Should be able to do that. So we need fire event. Did I import fire event? No, I didn't. So, which means, where do you get fire event from? I'll use for fire event at testing library React fire event. There you go. Okay, fire event. So fire event, the element, and then the event. So the element is you are firing a mouse down on this thing, which we need to locate by, you have a data test ID flyout control button. So fire event on screen get by test ID of that thing, and a new mouse event mouse down, and I want to make sure it's doing stuff right. So let's change this and let's do a simple check here of hello. All right, and run it. So we are expecting to see that console log. Okay. Now, why are you new mouse event Okay. On I saved it, right? Setup and a fire event. Why? Okay. Do it again. Yeah, I'm expecting to see my console log here. Suite test active filters. Okay, why are we not seeing our console log? Let's do mdn mouse event. Yes. Mouse event object. New is a DOM string representing the name of the event. Okay. Oh, I'll bet mouse enter. I think are they low? No, I went mouse down. UI events. UI events. Right. Yeah, but what is the common events using this interface include click, double click, mouse up, and mouse down. MOSCDOWN, MOSEDOWN. MOUSEEVENT, mouse event. Okay. Why are you apparently not logging? Flyout control button updates the flyout with when dragged. Fire event on flyout control button. New mouse event mouse down. Yeah, not understanding why I'm not seeing that console log. I feel like I missed something. Let's check my assumptions here. So log out the, like that, like this. Let's log the button, make sure we have the right thing. That is indeed a button. On mouse down, you have a function. Okay. Let's log the mouse event. This is the mouse down event. Mouse event is trusted. Okay. Fire event when an event is dispatched on an element, the event has the subjected element on a property called target. Keyboard events. The event that should trigger the callback function does trigger the bound callback. Yeah, but considerations for fire event. You should know that fire event isn't exactly how the user interacts with your application, but close enough, which creates a click event and dispatches that event on the given DOM node. So when you simply want to test what happens when the user actually clicks, these are the events that are typically fired in order. Mouse over, mouse move, mouse down, focus, mouse up, click. If the element happens to be a child of a label, focus to perform control of the label is labeling. Focus, blur, key down. Yeah, but why is fire event.mouse down on the element? Yeah, but why is... Let me try it that way. Fire event.mouse down on this element. On that one. Doesn't quite make sense to me why it's not. How interesting. Why is that not? Why was this one not working? Am I calling the, do I have the function passing the right parameters? Get by, right, get by the new mouse event. I mean, is it, I'm almost positive it's lowercase. How interesting. Get by test ID, new mouse event. How interesting that is. A mouse event object. Yeah. Right. New mouse event. I mean, you're saying that's optional. I mean, it is very interesting, though, that it doesn't... I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that. All right, well, this one's working, so we're going to do it. We're going to do it that way. We're going to use the convenience method. So fire event mouse down, which when we put it back to what it was, that changes the resizing ref. Now we need to emit a mouse down event on, pardon? That's the mouse down on flyout button. Now we need to emit a mouse move on document, which we should be able to pass in like that, with an event client X, event.client X of, let's say, 500. Assert that the width is a particular value. We can copy this same logic, actually. So this thing. Assert that the width is a particular value. Let's run it that far. Yeah, updates the flyout width. Now, for example, if we no, because it's already going to be that stuff. Let's make the client width 700. So this should fail. Aha. Okay, so it's not working correct. Oh, I didn't save it. Because the client, super, client width 700. Awesome. Okay, should be 700. So, I mean, if I want it to be, Well, no, because it doesn't matter. That it is unnecessary to assert this one again in this test case. Assert that the width is a particular value. Now emit another mouse up on the document. Anywhere on the document. Emit a mouse up anywhere on the document, and then assert that the emit a mouse up on the document, do another mouse move with a client x of 1,000, and then this assert should still be emit a mouse up, emit another mouse move with a different client x, assert that the width is the same value. It's actually testing a couple different conditions. So this would be adds and removes event hand. So this is adds and removes event handlers to update the flyout width, or maybe updates the flyout width only when dragged, only while dragged. Updates the flyout width only while dragged only. Only while dragging. Updates the flyout width only while dragging. Emit a mouse down event on flyout control button. Emit a mouse move event. Assert that the width is a particular value. Emit a mouse up event on document. Emit another mouse move with a different client x. Assert that the width is the same value. Yes. Okay, let's get rid of these comments. Changes the width when dragged. So then for these, right, we have changed it to those. So we would, okay, we are failing. The whole thing failed. So I think it does actually need this div when it's rendering, so it has a thing to read from. So there is a DOM node, an element, a node to read from. I don't think it needs this style declaration though, because I think it's going to default to, yeah, because the environment JESDOM does not do styling. It's out of scope for what JESDOM it's out of scope for the purpose of JESDOM. All right, and then we can remove this displays closed when opened and displays opened when closed. Right. So let's remove these things. Flyout control button. And then run the test suite. There we are. Okay, let's run the whole thing here. User event. Oh, I took out all the user events. All right. As well as combine gradient color stops. Why were you needed in here? Not entirely sure. let's then look at the data test ID flyout, right? Flyout control. Let me run the test while I'm doing this, while I'm looking through it. Yarn run test. That's all of them, right? Yeah, there's flyout and app. Not that many, 37 tests. Fire event, user event, okay. Right. Let's have the available wrapper with. Right, okay, so this is, we're going to add, and then adds resizable flyout tests. Adds resizable flyout tests. Yes. Okay, let's push origin sizeable dash flyout. Git push origin resizable flyout. Yes. Super. All right, so we have completed this one. So what else? What other? Mobile, right, we do need to do that. I feel like some toast notifications would be quite useful here. I do have to address actually that's a pretty big issue right now. Yeah. Okay. So okay, so that's not quite finished. So how are we going to how should we handle this? So the way I was thinking about it is this calculate and set width is only available on desktop. And so I guess I would have mobile breakpoints that if the width is less than something, ignore it. Okay, that seems straightforward-ish, but I do need to have that. So we need to have those then as constants, which would be what? This would be maybe breakpoints. Breakpoints.js. And so we would have export default mobile, we'll say under 500. We'll say tablet is 750. Yeah, 2 for now. So we'll say breakpoints and then export default breakpoints. So then in here we would do import breakpoint breakpoints from constants breakpoints, breakpoints dot mobile, and so this would be calculate and set with if event dot client x is less than breakpoints dot mobile, we ignore. So yeah, there it is. Okay. That's also behavior that I don't want to have. That's kind of interesting. So we need to have a test for that, which is flyout.test. This is the flyout control button. This is it does not update with to less than mobile breakpoint. Does not update with to be less than mobile breakpoint. So this is, it's really a lot of the same logic. Pardon. I probably copy most of this. Return value once, right, and then if you try to, for example, do 200, we would still expect it to be 1000. And then I can comment these things out. And then yarn test, no. Flyout, copy relative, yarn test, that one. All right, break-in stuff. The above error, what is, that's a lot of, okay. Which means, what did I forget here? Let's only do the one so we can see the error logs. Doesn't take up the whole console. Ah, right. Yeah, it's going to be it is going to be 500 because it defaults to the halfway value. It's going to be what it defaults to, right? All right, so if I take out the only, okay, it's not a lot of space to display all those errors. It takes up all my terminal. All right, so that's I mean, it's a basic solution. It's not really ideal because it doesn't allow you to. Toast notifications would be way better, but I also want to. Let's put a max then also. So this would be, I suppose this can be a local value. We could say something like max fly out width. The max fly out width is going to be, yeah, so this then, okay. So this would be, oh, here's an interesting thing. Yeah, we would have this as state. So this is max fly out width, set max fly out width, because I don't want to set you to a particular pixel value. I don't want to set you to a particular pixel value because I don't know how big the monitor of the person interacting with this gradient generator is going to be, and so I want to set it as a percent of that, essentially of this wrapper, the document query selector wrapper client width. And so let's do this actually. Let's say wrapper width is this, and then you set the initial width to wrapper width divided by 2, and then set max flyout width to wrapper width times, let's say 80, let's do it 80%. 80% of wrapper width, max flyout width, and then so here, in the thing here, we do if event client X is less than breakpoints dot mobile, or it's greater than max flyout width, return. So what that should do for us here is that you can't be okay. Client X is less than max oh. I need to, did I set wrapper? All right, what is max flyout width in the component? Flyout 709, set width to 443. That's the third one. Context, ref, state. You should be, if resizing ref.current, if event client X is less than, client X is greater than max flyout width, do a debugger in here. Right. Okay. Ah. I need to, it has to be after that one. So when I grab it, right, event.clientX is 444, which is breakpoints dot mobile is 500. Why am I in Lodash here? Do it again. Event.clientX is 301. Where is constants, breakpoints? Okay, I'm not sure this. I feel like this should be highlighting, and I'm not entirely sure why it's not doing that. Mobile. Breakpoints.mobile. Yeah, why are you not available? Let me see if it's going into that block. Let me put that on a separate line so I can see it. Okay, refresh. Click drag, right? What is 444? If event.client x is, oh, okay. Huh. That's a bug. It should not be set to, it should be set to the max of wrapper width divided by 2, or you should be set to math.max of wrapper width divided by 2, or breakpoints.mobile. It should really be what you are based on mobile or tablet, but mobile is fine for now. Right, and if you are max flyout width should not be max flyout width should not be 0. Yeah, that's interesting. Why is max flyout width 0? Oh, because you have you have a closure over an outdated state value. That's why. Okay. So the way we deal with that is how? Max flyout. I mean, I guess I could put max flyout width in a ref also. Resizing ref. It could be resizing ref is resizing max flyout width. I mean, I guess I could do resizing ref is resizing false max flyout width 0, and then instead of that you do resizing ref max flyout width set equal to this thing, and then we do resizing ref dot current dot max flyout width. Resizing ref dot current dot is resizing. This is resizing ref dot current dot max flyout width. Resizing ref dot current dot is resizing. Resizing ref dot current dot is resizing. And then this one, resizing ref dot current dot is resizing. Max flyout width on Boolean true on 48 means I missed one. Resizing ref. Cannot create property max flyout width on Boolean true. Resizing ref dot current. It's probably because I'm setting it to true somewhere. Resizing ref.current.isResizing. Okay. Where are you getting set to true? Alright, let's look at all of the resizing ref. Use ref, is resizing, max flyout width, current.max flyout width, is resizing ref current. Alright, resizing ref current, max flyout. Current is resizing, resizing ref current is resizing. Resizing ref current is resizing. Okay, not entirely sure what I'm missing here. Let's debugger here on this one. Resizing ref current is resizing ref current max flyout width Right, why was that? Why was this erroring again? Must have been an out-of-date thing. Alright, let's remove these debuggers here. Right. So you can, that's essentially what I wanted, is that you can resize it within a range. Yeah. It's about the size of it. The size. So let's put these return statements back where they were. And get rid of this state setter here. Although it is kind of a pain to have to do all that imperative code. And then so the test, what do I need to test here? Defaults to half of the available wrapper width. Defaults to half the available wrapper width or the minimum mobile breakpoint. So this is width defaults to half the available wrapper width on large screens. This is the minimum mobile breakpoint. The minimum mobile breakpoint on smaller screens. So this would be if your client width is 2 if your client width is 600 on smaller the minimum mobile breakpoint on less large on smaller screens. If it's 600, we're still expecting that to be 500. Width defaults to, so if we run flyout tests, super. Okay, now that's this business. Half the width or the mobile if it's bigger. And then the other one is, so that's this. Flyout control button updates the flyout width only while dragging. Does not update width to be less than mobile breakpoint. This is does not update width to be greater than, to be greater than 80% of the wrapper. Greater than 80% of the wrapper width. So client width of 1,000 startup, setup, mouse down, mouse move with a client of, and that is this logic here. Pardon. So if you are 900, we are still expecting you to be 500 because I'm expecting you to be half. Right. All right. I think that's good for now. So we've done sort of, the feature is only available on desktop, on larger screens. It only moves so much on larger screens. Toasts would really be nice to explain, like, why can't I drag it anymore? If there's a pop-up that says, you can't drag it because we want you to keep it on larger sizes. Alright, so let's adjust let's also adjust this to be the whole thing. And then let's add resizable handle. Right. And this is so this is add and commit. We can do another commit. So this is resizable flyout, resizes within min and max range. R-E-S-I-Z-E, resizable flyout resizes within min and max range. Yes. Okay, so there is why are you not oh, is it not? I'll bet it's not. Yeah, it's not I need a listener for the resize event on the viewport, because it's not this logic that sets the max flyout width only runs initially when the component loads. So if you resize it, it doesn't know that you've resized the window. So is there a resize event? There it is, the window resize event. Okay, so so we could also do maybe window add event listener on resize. Add event listener on resize. So this is maybe handle resize, because we're going to need to remove this event listener too. So we need to be able to refer to it by name, because we need to do handle resize. So handle resize, when there is a resize event, you get the event, and what is the port window size? Window.inner height, window.inner width. Okay. What does the event look like when that happens? The event has event.target. Oh, I guess it's still event.target. Event.target.inner height and inner width. So, alright, sure, we'll do it. Event.target.inner width. And so this would be the max flyout width would be, so it's this. So the max flyout width is going to be, math.max of I mean, I guess you could get a, see, this is here's a use case for having this as a ref instead of finding it as a query selector, because I need it here also. I guess I could do it on the window, because it's not, the thing is the whole, the interface is currently the whole window, so it doesn't really matter right now. So event.target.inner width times 80%, or breakpoint.mobile, whichever is greater. Breakpoints.mobile, whichever is greater. Pardon. And so now, when that is saved and running properly, yes, when we refresh here, get some errors. Cannot read target, right, because window is not there. Window does not exist in the tests. So you can bigger, smaller, bigger. You can get to 80%. Okay. And when we resize the window, oh, come on, there we go. When we, let's make you way bigger. When we resize the window, there you go, you can get to 80%. Let's change it to 90%. I like that better. Let's have that as a constant here. So let's say max flyout with %. Max flyout with %, 0.80. So this here, there, yes. Also, we're going to need to adjust the tests. Make sure it's operating correctly. Right. Yeah. Right. Let's also do, let's do another constant for this. I want to do a little quicker on this timeout. This would be, how about flyout with timeout resizing? How about flyout with throttle? Timeout with throttle is, let's do 50 milliseconds. Flyout with throttle, 50 milliseconds. So it's a little bit faster. $50 milliseconds. All right. So then what's going on with these tests? This is cannot read property of target of undefined, right? So, okay, so flyout control button. This is updates the flyout width only while dragging, does not update width to be less than mobile breakpoint, does not update width to be greater than 80%, greater than, this would be a case to have these as constants, gradient constants. Maybe flyout constants. Flyouts.js. We could have, I think I like the name, rename, flyout constants. Flyout constants, so this would be export const, and then I would do import that and that from from constants, flyout constants, and then in the test here, pardon, max flyout with percent greater than max flyout with percent. Change this to that of the wrapper width. And so max flyout with percent right now is 90. Max flyout with percent, let's make you 90. So if you try to set it to 950, it's not going to work. These are all the can't read target of undefined, because that is we're adding an event listener for resize events on the window to run the handle resize function. And max flyout with I guess we would do yeah, I guess you really could do, instead of event.target, you could do window.innerWidth, and then you don't need to take the event here. So then when we run the tests, we're not getting any errors. Little concern, right? How would we actually test that? Max width, because we would need to. I would need to emit the resize event on the window, and then assert that the max flyout width. Yeah, we could do that. Flyout control button. Yeah, I guess it's so. Flyout control button. Flyout control button updates the width after resize events on the window. Sets the width correctly. Sets the width correctly after resize events on window. That might actually be here. Oh, that's with defaults too. Flyout control button. So this is query selector spy. Fire. So we're expecting the width to be 500, and then 90% of math.max of window.innerWidth so window.innerWidth times 90% is 900. So we need to mock window.innerWidth. So this would be, yeah, I guess we would do window.inner width is 1,000. Window.inner width is 1,000, and then fire event resize fire event window event new event resize window dot inner width. So I want to see if it's window dot inner width window dot inner width. Run only this test. This is cancel that yarn test, only that one. Need to do an only on that. Window dot inner width of 1,000. All right, so it dot only. Yeah, window dot inner width, because there's the why is this running twice? It's not entirely clear to me why this is running twice. Spion. Okay. Fire event window. There's a resize event, which causes a log. Okay. And then, not entirely sure why that's running twice. So we resize, or I guess we should assert this is the right width first. Then you run a resize to what? Event. Then you run a resize window add event listener resize for handle resize, and we return handle resize. Is that running for all of the other tests as well? It is. Okay. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Interesting. So what is I guess what is causing the resize event to fire. That's interesting. So something in the test ingest DOM is causing that resize event to fire. Because the question here that I'm running into is how do I pass a new value to the resize? Pardon. Possible to register resize event. Okay. Resize the browser window to fire the resize event. That's not actually what I want. I want mdn new event. Event init. New event. Event properties. Event has this. When an event is dispatched on an element, the node which is receiving the event Yeah, because this one. I mean, I guess I could fake it. I could literally fake it. I could do inner width of inner width of 950, and then what is yeah, so I'm expecting what? I'm expecting the, hold on here, the inner width is 1000. I fire a resize, I expect it to be 500. I resize the window to 950. Then I expect, right, then I expect the max flyout. I expect max flyout width to be 855 at this point. So then when I try to mouse move to let's say 850, I would expect width to be 850. Let's see what that gets for me. Right, inner width is 950. All right. So now we got, okay, that's all passing. Let's take the only off of this, run it again. There's the yarn test, run that again. Run the test suite again. We get all the console logs. Why is, oh, I haven't changed inner width back to, so what does it default to then? So let me default inner width, window inner width like that, and then afterwards reset to the default. $10.24. There we go. Okay. So let's remove this console log here, and yarn test. Let's also look at here. We can resize down and resize up. And also if we, let's say, resize the thing, we can now only resize to there. If we move this over, should be able to, but if we move this much wider, should be able to, yeah, there we go. Better. Much better. All right, super. And all the tests passed. Wonderful. Okay, so let us take a look at our toast notifications, input validation. Yeah, okay. So I think we have completed the resizing. So this would be, let's clear, and then add, and then, oh, I actually want to look through all of the things first. Nope, it didn't. Oh, I have to get restore dash dash staged all of the things. That's what I wanted, because I wanted to look at them. Max flyout width, right, we adjusted the resizing width, and throttle calculate, right, adjusted the tests, added another test. Okay, so this is commit. So this is adds flyout component listens for resizing. Flyout component listens for resizes. Resize events. Should this be throttled? Just had a thought here. Empty message aborts the commit. That's what I want. I feel like this should be throttled, actually. Yes, that's what I want. Quit override. I feel like this should be throttled as well. Handle resize. Flyout with throttle. Yeah, I feel like it should have one of these as well. Handle resize should be throttle. This. Handle resize. And this should be throttled, handle resize. Yeah, because you could potentially do a ton of resizes, and you don't necessarily want it redoing every time. Yeah, that's better. Because that could be emitting like hundreds of actions. And you definitely don't want all of them. That's better, okay. Right, we added a simple throttle onto that. Okay, so this is add and then clear, and then we'll commit, and this is fly out component listens for resize events. FLYOUT, see component listens for resize events. Yes. Alright, so now let's push origin resizable fly OUT. Get push origin resizable fly out. Yes. I think that's the basics of the resizable, because we're not supporting mobile yet. And right, because we said we're not supporting mobile yet. And so that's about the size of what I want the throttle, the resizing to do. Alright, I think that is about all for this session. Next time we will push that, well, we have it pushed. Next time we'll open the PRs for that and merge that in, and then that will kick off the deployment process. And then I think we're going to look at the toast notifications next time, because I would love to be able to get some, like when you move your mouse over to here and what, it stopped working, you should get like a little toast notification or something that says, hey, we don't let you drag it all the way over because then it would ruin this display here, or all the way over there. So some explanations would be nice. So that's probably what we'll work on next time. All right, so until then, I'll see you.